Hi everybody, my name is Stacy Coleman. I'm the Executive Director of Animal Farm Foundation. We decided to add a video to our blog because the topic we're about to take on is difficult, it's ugly, and really it feels pretty big. By now, most dog owners and shelter advocates know that PetSmart Corporate, those are the PetSmart stores, discriminate against dog owners by not allowing dogs that they group together as bully breeds to participate in their store services. PetSmart Charities has always claimed autonomy from PetSmart Corporate. In other words, when advocates for change cry foul at the PetSmart Corporate policy, PetSmart Charities says that they're separate and that they do not discriminate against dog owners. Historically, we've been able to take them at their word. PetSmart Charities does have a history of supporting programs that treat all dogs as individuals, regardless of breed labels, but not anymore. PetSmart Charities is now underwriting and branding a presentation that they call The Future of Animal Welfare. PetSmart Charities Chief of Analytics, Roger Haston, is traveling around the country giving shelter workers and community members his view of what the future of animal welfare is, and the future he sees is pretty bleak. One of our directors saw the presentation in New York City in January. Until then, I'd never even heard of Roger Haston. Our director was concerned about the messaging and brought it to my attention. I found the presentation online and asked topic experts to watch and weigh in too. Once I became familiar with what seems to be this new direction for PetSmart Charities, I engaged Roger Haston in communication to discuss the sources he used, offer reliable sources, and to introduce updated research. But regardless of the information that I presented, no matter the evidence presented, and no matter the sources presented, I was dismissed as having only opinions or of being passionate. His words, not mine. Roger Haston is promoted by PetSmart Charities as an analytical thinker with a PhD in geophysics and an MBA. The official website bio says he comes to animal welfare because of a passion for animals. The very same reason I was dismissed. I have a lot of questions about the presentation. Why is PetSmart Charities targeting some shelter dogs that Roger Haston calls blocky-headed whatevers, when in the past they used to invest in programs to help all shelter dogs? Why does PetSmart Charities think 40% of the dogs in shelters are not wanted by adopters? 40%. If that was true, which it isn't, what is PetSmart Charities proposing we do with all those dogs they say nobody wants? Why does PetSmart Charities think that shelter dogs are a threat to public safety and that it's up to shelter workers to prevent dog bite-related fatalities, which are vanishingly rare events and have nothing to do with shelter dogs? This is a tough one. Why does PetSmart Charities think it is okay to use the label brown people as a way to divvy up those who care about animals? Again, their words, not mine. And what are we supposed to take away from the claim that the Italian mafia is running Italy's dog shelters, and that if we are not careful, American shelters are going to go the way of Italy or possibly Bosnia or Taiwan? Until 2017, it was still legal to eat dogs in Taiwan. That's not a risk for America. Where are the sources for all of this? What is the purpose for making all of these claims? And how does any of this meet the mission of PetSmart Charities? The answer is, it doesn't. So why are they doing it? We weren't sure what to do about this presentation and PetSmart Charities, but we know we can't just let their message and fear-mongering go unchecked. If your curiosity gets the better of you and you decide to look for the presentation yourself, please be a smart consumer of that information. Look for sources, look at the data, and wonder where that data came from. Wonder about the relevance of the topic, and look for motivation. I shared the entirety of my correspondence with Roger Haston with the acting director of PetSmart Charities, Deb Turcott, along with a personal plea to please explain this new direction. To Deb's credit, she did respond almost immediately, and she said she would look into it and get back to me. When I hear from her, I'll let you know. In the coming days or weeks, or for however long it takes, we will be talking a lot about this at Animal Farm Foundation. I think I know what we'll find once this all gets unpacked, but for me to say now would be only speculation. Instead, we will wait for PetSmart Charities or Roger Haston to tell us, and we will keep asking until we understand. I hope you will read the blog that goes along with this video and join us in our Facebook Live discussion that will follow. Above all else, from this moment forward, please vow to be a careful consumer of information. If there wasn't an audience for sloppy information, sloppy purveyors of information would go away. Before you share it, verify it. Before you promote it, check sources. In the end, this PetSmart Charities presentation won't even register as a blip in our very long and absolutely amazing history of living with dogs and loving our dogs. But for now, we have to spend a little time in gray matter putting it in check. At Animal Farm Foundation, we are not willing to allow the words of a single organization to take us back to a time when it was acceptable to euthanize shelter dogs because they were not convenient or because of what they look like. I don't think you are willing to either. Thank you for listening. Please join us in the coming conversation, and please join us to be change makers as we try to figure out why this is happening and how we can make it stop. We owe it to the shelter dogs. Thank you.